Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube and on Twitter, X, whatever you still call it, whatever the kids call it nowadays. But get yourself over to the YouTube channel, get yourself subscribed, and get yourself involved in the live chat as we round up a positive week for Rangers. It's one of those positive weeks that we've had after such a good result at the weekend. But yeah, also round up Rangers news and obviously look ahead to the game against Livingston on Sunday. I nearly said Saturday. Sunday. I am Scott Carney. Joining me tonight is Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, very well. No Rangers during the midweek, which was maybe good for the heart, so you could kind of relax during the week.
Do you not think it's felt long, but do you not think it's been a long week?
Yeah, I mean, I do like a midweek game as long as we're winning it, obviously. But yeah, it's no, I know it is. I mean, I know Celtic played during the week in Europe there, but yeah, we're going to have this from now to the split in terms of a game every weekend, but I would rather that, to be honest, when we're playing during the week in terms of we can rest players, etc. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Rangers Bank Sunday.
Yes, me too. And Ross McLean. Ross, it's been a while, I think, mate. How's the uni dissertation going, mate? Are you nearly there?
It's been too long. Wait till I've been locked in my man cave. Honestly, I feel for any fellow students out there as well. But no, it is good to be on. It is very, very good to be on. After I've still, it has felt a long week. I'm still off a bit of a buzz from last Sunday. Genuinely, like, it's still, that good vibe is still there. Let it continue. Although I am rather buzzing about a pod event which has just been announced, mate. So I shall let you crack on because there's some exciting stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button, everybody. Apologies. It's been a while. I pushed the wrong button. But yes, Ross set me up perfectly there. Yes, and it is too. We are buzzing really to announce that we are officially launching a kind of next range. We've done this a while back in terms of launching new merch, but it is now officially our new range is officially live. As I say, this isn't just a quick logo kind of stuck on a cheap t-shirt either. We've kind of taken our time with this. Proper quality. It's a heavyweight t-shirt. There's premium print. There's front designs, front and back designs that actually mean something. They've took a bit of time to print up, to design as well. But we're delighted to say that it's now live. The stuff is made to order, so every single one is printed fresh. There's no mass-produced nonsense. It's all built to last. Something you can wear, I don't know, to Ibrox, to the pub, I don't know, every day if you want to. But if you want to support the pod and back what we are building here, it generally means everything. So the link is in the description to go to club at 22.bigcartel.com where you can get your t-shirts. The first 3 t-shirts have dropped, but tag us in your pics if you grab one. Make sure you do. We want to see you in the club at 22 colours, and thank you very much for the support. I am wearing the new white one, the very originally named the Red Lion, which says Club at 22, established 2020 at the bottom of it. And so you all know, the size of me. I wear a large. These are kind of oversized t-shirts, if you like. It's kind of a style that we would all wear as well, which is why we've went with this as well. But they're good quality t-shirts, trust me on this. They'll last more than one wash, I guarantee you that. So yeah, they are they're good t-shirts, and we really do appreciate the support, and I promise the lads will have them on soon. But I didn't expect to do it tonight. You know me, I'm very well organised with stuff like this, but everything just kind of fell into place for me to get it done today, so it just kind of happened today. So yeah, the stuff's now live, so buzzing for it, absolutely buzzing for it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who's going to go and buy one. They're good, I promise you, they're good. The lads will say so once they get theirs as well. They know that. But yeah, delighted with it, and delighted to get it live. As well, quickly, obviously, I just have to, and I'm sorry, I'm just rabbling on here, but it's just a wee bit of housekeeping. The response we've had from the video that Ryan and I done when we were at Ibrox on Wednesday to give the money over to the Rangers Charity Foundation, the response from you guys has been absolutely tremendous, honestly. Thank you so much for everybody for supporting that wee video that we've done. I know everybody's seen around Ibrox a million times, but it feels differently when it's just you and your pal walking about and there's nobody else there. It's quite a surreal feeling. And we were kind of allowed to go where we wanted to an extent. But it was really good. And again, we don't get to do that kind of stuff without your guys' contribution, without you guys being able to support us in order for us to support the Rangers Charity Foundation. So generally it means everything to us, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So we raised £400 for the Charity Foundation, and we try and kind of do a yearly donation when funds are there for us to be able to do so. And we are delighted with that. Obviously, it was a contribution of the money we raised at the live show as well. So thank you so much. They do amazing stuff, the Rangers Charity Foundation. They honestly do. But thank you so much for everybody for supporting us. So it's you guys that done that. It's not us. It's you guys that done that. So we thank you so much for that. Is that everything? Yeah, I think so. I think I've gone through everything. I'll let somebody else talk now. Ali, how's your week been? No, I'm kidding on. We'll get into Rangers things now. We'll round up a bit of Rangers news, obviously, before we get into the game at the weekend. I'll start, Ali, with it's been a positive week, okay, as a Rangers fan. Is this one of these weeks that you have to take and hold on to, because are we still in for this kind of roller coaster? This has been a positive week. It's been a great response. It's been a great team performance from the team at the weekend, I felt, and dare I say, a proper Rangers performance?
Yeah, it ended positively. I still think we dropped 2 massive points on the Wednesday, whatever it was, against Motherwell. We should never lose 2 points, especially against 10 men. And the way the Hearts obviously got the last minute goal, Celtic got the last minute goal against Livingston during the week as well. So, I think it ended well. Obviously, Celtic against Kilmarnock on literally just before we went to Ibrox scored another. I mean, that's 3 games in a row they've scored last minute goals, but they've done it historically. So, I mean, me and you were in the pub, Carney, on Sunday, we both said to each other, they will win this game. We knew they would win it, so when they scored, it was not a shock to us. And that's why they win league titles, because that's what they do. But we had to go and do our business against Hearts. Just after that, you could maybe some support going to the ground on Sunday might have been maybe slightly deflated because of what happened. But as you said in the pub, we can't. What happens in other games, Celtic or Hearts, whoever they're playing, we can't affect those games. We can only affect what we play. And at the moment, as long as we win games of football, and we win all our games of football, ultimately we will get what we want at the end of the season. And we had to go and beat Hearts on Sunday. And I thought Rangers done it convincingly. I thought it's probably one of their better performances. We maybe slightly harsh at half-time when we met each other in the concourse in terms of how the game went, etc. I don't think Rangers was ever in doubt in that game. They were always going to win that game. I thought they were very good that game. He got the team selection correct, got the substitutions correct. Everything that we said was not correct against Motherwell. Hopefully he's learned from it. And it's put us in a right good position. But yeah, as you say, I think there will be weekends of ups and downs. I think that from now to the end of the season, there's 11 games left. I think there'll be games like that. This weekend, you look, Celtic play Hibs at Celtic Park. Hearts have got Falkirk, I think, at Tynecastle. Yep. And I think Hearts play on Saturday, and we play obviously away at Livingston. So, yeah, as long as we win our games, I mean, I look to Sunday, as long as we win Sunday and you set it up for a blockbuster for Sky Sports on the following Sunday, it's there. But there'll be twists and turns. There will. Celtic are poor. Although we are winning, I still don't think we are brilliant either, to be honest. And I think Hearts, it'll be interesting how Hearts react. But yes, there'll be twists and turns, Carney. But I mean, I don't think I've got the heart to take it to the end of the season. I really don't with Rangers. It's really hard at times. You're up, you're down. You don't know where you are half the time. But after Sunday, it was a good feeling, and it was good to see a Rangers team respond in a big game. But you need to continue after that. So
you're still not letting yourself believe. You're not letting yourself believe yet.
I'm not. And I've told you this before, Carney.
I know.
It's good as the win was on Sunday. There's a bit in the back of my head that goes, do we have enough to go over the line? And I'm being blatantly honest. I still don't think we do. I think we need a lead going into the split. And I don't know where it comes. That's my personal opinion. I think we need a lead going into the split. But yes, you never know with football. You never know. But
no,
we'll see what happens.
You'll see what happens. Yeah, before I go any further, Scott, how can I get that top? The link is right at the top of the description for this pod, literally right at the very top. As soon as you click description, it's the
Somebody
first
put it in the chat as well.
Yeah, I think the snipers put it in the chat as well. So also I seen Davey here has been sorry, Ali. He's been a member for 34 months. Champions Party planned. There will be something. There will be something if that fantastic thing happens. Yeah, Ross, after you've raised your head out your textbook, mate, every now and again, just to pop your head into Rangers world and see what's happening, you would have been pretty pleased going on to Rangers Twitter that we were all pretty happy, so something good must have happened. But look, that's what Ali was saying about the not wanting to believe, but I can get where he's coming from. But my argument would be to that right now is I think we are the team that's on an upward trend in terms of performances, in terms of players settling in terms of Shamiti coming to the front. I know this has been false dawns when before in terms of the old firm, but the guys just went and scored a hat-trick, so he's clearly found some scoring form. We seem to be on the upward trend. I think Hearts, I wouldn't say they're going down, but they've definitely plateaued. And I think the loss of Shanklin and Devlin has really affected them. And I think the neighbours across the city are very bipolar. I think they're up and down in terms of how they play football. So maybe I'm just basically basing it on the fact that how good I thought Sunday was, but I just feel like we're in the upward trend. So I'm beginning to enjoy watching Rangers again.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right, mate. We are, as much as yes, we're sitting second just now. We're kind of in a bit of a driving seat. I think that obviously Ali's spot on. It's always about what we do. If we don't pick up the points that we need to, then there's literally nothing you can do. But I think last week, literally a week ago today, we were coming off the back of a disappointing 2 points dropped at Motherwell. And what a difference a game makes. You could genuinely look back at that Motherwell result in a short while's time and see that as a massive, massive point gained. Motherwell, a team who prior to that game hadn't conceded at Fir Park since I think it was the October, whatever beforehand. A team who's been very, very good. A team, by the way, completely off topic. The fact that they're out the cup, that cup's ours to win. Generally, I had Motherwell as the other. If we can get past Celtic, Motherwell I had to go in the final. So massive, massive result Aberdeen during the week. But anyways, genuinely, mate, that result last week, it's completely changed the narrative for me. I was very on the edge. I still am on the edge, of course. I'm a Rangers fan. I've bought the t-shirt. You can buy our t-shirts in the link in the description, if you like as well. But we've all been there before. But it does feel all right just now. It's a good thing that none of our players are getting injured and everyone's fit and everyone's fine. Cheers, Mr. Rangers. We'll get into that later on. But, it does feel good just now, mate. It does feel good. Massive game on Sunday. Ali's right as well. With Hearts playing first, could Falkirk do a bit of a turn? I think Hearts' run of form, upcoming run of fixtures, I think they've got quite favourable fixtures. I think they're at home quite a fair bit. And obviously they are the team to beat. If they win every single game to the end of the season, they lift the titles, as simple as that. But could that game on Sunday just be the beginning? I don't know. We've been saying it for so long, but it's you've got X amount of games left and it's still not happened yet. So it's all completely in the air. But I do agree. It's hard to completely justify it, but Rangers in the driving seat for me, mate, and we need to keep that momentum going.
I think our run in the fixtures is more favourable up to the split. Obviously, after the split, it looks like when things will get really tricky for Rangers. Tricky. I still stand by. You're going to need to go beat Hearts and Celtic again anyway to win the league, even if we win against Celtic next week. And obviously, that's a big if. But if we win that, I still think we're still going to need to beat they two. I still think every team will drop points, including Rangers. But I just hope that we're in a much more favourable position by the time that comes around. And by favourable, you all know I mean top. So and that's kind of where I'm getting at. But it's been a positive week. It has been a positive week, and it's been good. It's been good to hold on to it for the full week, I suppose. And I suppose maybe I shouldn't have wishful thinking about a midweek game when the positivity lasts a full week on this podcast. It's a rare thing this season. We'll move on to some Rangers news. John Souttar, Ali, you're another one of your favourite players. He's signed a contract extension, so he's signed an initial year extension with the option of an extra year on top of that, so he's here till at least the end of 2027. A strange one, because when I seen it, I kind of went, well, yeah, because I expected it, but it's also not one that I went, oh, your beauty, either. It was one of those ones where you're just kind of like, look, John Souttar, is he the best centre-half I've ever seen? No, he definitely is not. Has he done a job for us? Yeah, he probably has. He's probably played a lot more football than he was ever really meant to coming to Rangers. He has stayed relatively injury-free, touch wood, for a substantial period of time now. He will be going to the World Cup with Scotland. He is a Scottish player in terms of our, what do you call it? What do you call that thing that we need?
Coefficient and the quota and everything.
It's not a coefficient. What's it called?
Quota.
What's the thing? The thing.
Homegrown.
The homegrown talent thing. Yeah, we need that. Whatever it is. So he is that, but the fact that it's just a year makes me think that he's probably not long term in the manager's eyes a starter for Rangers. Is that fair, or has that been a bit harsh?
Yeah, well, it's a year with an option for a further 12 months. But John Souttar, I think about John Souttar. I think John Souttar's a good player. I think he's a good squad player. Do I think he's a first-team player for us in big matches, i.e. Europe, Celtic, etc.? No. I think he's got too many, and a lot of defenders can, but he's got too much previous in terms of bomb scare moments, can you? Look at the goals we've conceded recently as well. Motherwell, one at Hearts. Do you blame him for some of those goals? He gets caught under balls quite a lot of the time. I think he's a very good squad option. But for next season, you're looking for a new centre-half for me, a guy that comes in there. I think Fernandes is a guy that you could build on in terms of the centre-back pair. And I think he could be the left-side centre-half for next season with somebody beside him. And for me, John Souttar's not the guy. I like John Souttar. I think he's a good squad player. But for us to go to, well, we'll say at the next level, if you want to say, is he going to take us there, John Souttar? No, I don't think he will. But as you say, he ticks boxes, Carney, in terms of his Scottish, that Scottish quota, in terms of when you're in Europe, etc. He ticks boxes that way. So, yeah, if he's signing a new contract for a year with the option to maybe a further 12 months, he's an asset for Rangers in terms of you're protecting an asset. He could have walked away for nothing in the summer. If somebody come in and wanted to potentially buy John Souttar, I think Rangers would get around the table and talk to somebody about it. But yeah, I think he's a very, very good squad option for Rangers going forward. But for next season, we need to be looking at a centre-half. I think we need to be looking at maybe two centre-halves next season, plus a right-back, plus a backup left-back as well, etc. So, yeah, I wasn't upset that John Souttar signed a contract. I think he's been dependable for us at times this season. I think he's good beside Fernandes. I think he talks Fernandes through the game. But for next season, he's a squad player. But when I say a squad player, a guy that will still play probably 20-plus games for Rangers next season.
Yeah, Derek Kerr as well. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member, mate. Very much appreciated. And it's Northern Ireland Green before anybody asks. And I know I can't get it changed. Ross, Ali's probably right. I don't want to do too much of a disservice to Souttar, but I do think that we probably should be looking for better. Look, Fernandes is also getting linked with moves away. There's apparently big European clubs keeping an eye on him because he kind of fits that mould about calm, composed, willing to bring the ball out from the back. Kind of fits the bill for the kind of modern day centre half that kind of big teams tend to go for. But John Souttar with the extra extension, mate, the year extension. What's your thoughts on
It probably needed to happen because of the lack of defenders we'll have at the end of the season. You know, he was one of the only ones left that if we didn't sign the contract extension, we'd be left with, you know, Fernandez, and that's about it, unfortunately. So it does make a lot of sense. I think it's the time on it is very interesting indeed. The fact that it's 1 year with an option to extend, that for me says a short-term view, i.e. we're probably looking to bring in a main centre-half. I've banged on a bit before, I still don't think we've replaced Connor Goldson. Generally, I know I sound like a broken record, but to me, it probably says that Rangers are going to go out to try and find that next big guy. If Suter can, you know, hold his own, if he can stay fit, etc., then yes, reward him with that second year. But we're not tied down to that. That's not our only option. So I do think it does scream out that we're looking to bring in another centre half, which is brilliant. I genuinely, Suter, I think recently he's been not bad at all. He's shows at times can be decent in the air as well, decent aerial threat. It's just occasionally the one thing that, you know, he has been commented on is his ability to head the ball defensively sometimes, you know, just that kind of that awareness of wherever the ball's going over his head. But it's good to have him. Obviously, Scotland international, a guy who's been here for a good amount of time. It's quite clear he's a leader in the dressing room as well. We do need a good amount of them. So it is good, mate. It is good. But I'm a Rangers fan. I'm greedy. I want more. Bring in the centre backs. I was hoping that Cornelius would be that guy. I still think we're needing that main CB number one, that big guy at the back. But John Suter, all the best to him, and hopefully he can contribute well for the rest of the season and next.
Yeah, in terms of Cornelius as well, I think it's unfortunate the injury he got when he did. I was unsure of him. He was kind of neither here nor there for me. I think now I'm coming back with the fact that Fernandez has, dramatically improved under Danny Rule. I don't think there's any doubt that he's dramatically improved under Danny Rule. I struggle to see even Cornelius is fit where he comes back in and when he plays. I think obviously with Giga as well and Suter, they three seem like the three that would kind of be playing over Cornelius. So Cornelius might find himself even as far down as fourth choice. So I don't see Rangers going to sign him. I don't see that happening. So there's absolutely no doubt that the back line it's going to need addressing in the summer, and I'd imagine it's already underway now in terms of who we recruit, especially for a man we're just about to come on to. Right back is a serious concern for all of us, I think, going into the summer. Going to need another centre half, a starting centre half, and yeah, obviously there's no way we are getting a better left back than the best left back of all time in Todd Romans, so we are going to need backup there, and Magoma obviously is alone, so he'll be on his way as well, and there's no disrespect to Magoma, but Todd Romans is just marvellous. He's just marvellous, and I want to see him play all the time. And yeah, I just seen Ali popped up there from Rangers on Tour, Luke Graham from Dundee on a free in the summer. Yeah, obviously I seen there was a link earlier on in the week for Rangers linked to Luke Graham. I'm not going to lie and say I know too much about him, but I think he's 21 or 22. I think he's quite young. And yeah, obviously he's been quite highly sought of. There was a bid from down south for him during the summer as well. So yeah, there might be something in that. But yeah, as I say, we're definitely going to need a starting centre half, starting right back, and that's not only because James Tavernier is obviously reaching his end, and we all presume that he's going to move on at the end of the season, even though we've always thought that he was moving on for the end of the season for about the past, 28 years or something like that. I don't know how long it's been since we all thought he was going to go. But the news, Ali, today, reports anyway, it's not officially from Danny Rule's mouth. It came through the Daily Record that potentially that Dujon Sterling is out for a considerable period of time again. Now, again, it's not been confirmed by Danny Rule yet, this report. So again, this is, I want to believe as much as I can about the Daily Record, but there's always bits that I have my serious doubts around them. Again, just my opinion. Ali, if this turns out to be the case, that it is another injury for Sterling, and this is why. And look, I was going to sound like a martyr, and I know it all here, and a hindsight genius, but when the hype around him was so much about him coming back and getting into fitness, I was like, this guy is not the answer. He just isn't, because it's going to happen again. It's just his body. And again, this is all, if this is all true, what we've read today, if this is all true, but if it is, mate, and he's out again for another 2, 3, 4 weeks, we need better than that. That's not even good enough to be a backup right back at Rangers. It really isn't. Unfortunately, I would be sitting having the conversation with him going, look, your future doesn't lie here.
Yeah, it was when Danny Rule came out today and said there was possibly 2, maybe 3 changes for the weekend. A guy was out for 2 to 3 weeks, and the other guy was here or there for Sunday, but may miss Sunday. We all started going, well, who is it? I think Tour Romans was a guy going around Twitter that folk were going, please don't make it Tour Romans.
No.
Because it's the most Rangers thing ever that a guy bursts on the scene and then gets injured.
I think the other one's Nadiri, I think.
Yeah. And to be fair, I'm talking about Nadiri just quickly. I'm not shocked hearing about Nadiri, because he did say for the Motherwell game, and we were all saying, why did Nadiri no start? He did say that he did have a slight niggle, if you want to say. So I'm not shocked about that one, but going by reports, and you don't know if it's true, he's touch or go for Livingston. And the plastic pitch, etc., we should have enough to beat Livingston. You'd think we should have enough to get by Livingston without Nadiri. You could wrap him up in cotton wool for the following week. So when I put in a group chat, obviously on Twitter, that it's Dujon Sterling, I wasn't shocked, to be honest. And this is a guy, Carney, that we've been managing his minutes since he's come back. Twice he's come back, if you want to say. He came back, get injured, he's come back. We're managing his minutes, and he's still get injured. And folks slag James Tavernier, and Tav's 34 years of age. We need to move on for Tav. Next season, we'll need to bring a right back in. But Tav's been available for Rangers for 50-plus games every season for the last 9 seasons. Never really missed a game, never really missed anything. Dujon Sterling, unfortunately, is made of paper mache, and he just can't go on a run of games, Dujon Sterling. And this is if it's true and he's injured for a couple of weeks, unfortunately, we need to get rid of Dujon Sterling in the summer if we can. He can't rely on the guy. I think when he's fit and he's available for Rangers, the game at Parkhead, I thought he was outstanding. He's got pace, he's got power, everything you want a right back. But we need guys that are dependable, that can go 50 games a season. And unfortunately, his body won't do it. So if it is the case that it is Dujon Sterling who is injured, I think we need to move on from him. We need to look for a right back, and for Livingston, it will be either Tav or Aarons. Aarons, for me, offers nothing. I'd be putting Tav in over Aarons every day of the week. I think he offers absolutely nothing, Aarons. I'd even look at putting bloody Ant-Man at right back if it was that desperate over Aarons. But Dujon Sterling, there's not much more we can say about it. I think we've covered him for the good part of 2 years, Carney. It's just his body he's not built for football, unfortunately. And yeah, it's a sad one, but Tav will play right back on Sunday.
Yeah, Ross, look, as much as we all love Dujon Sterling, and I do think he's a great player. He gives you that physicality, he gives you that edge, he gives you that just unwillingness to put himself on the line and to make that tackle. If it is true that it is Sterling again, if it is, and I'm always very wary of about you and I discussing a potential rumour, Ross, because we got it so drastically wrong one time. But if it is true, this just it can't continue on. And Ali's spot on about James Tavernier. Whether you love or you hate James Tavernier, and I think he's the same player. No, I think he's been poor this last kind of year or so. More often than not, he's struggled. Yes, but he's been available and he's been there, and his fitness is absolutely, I mean, it's never in doubt, absolutely never in doubt. Even Danny Rule himself, excuse me, has made mention that if it was up to James, he would play every day and would play every game. And Sterling's probably the same, I do get that, but unfortunately his body is letting him down, and if it is the case, then Rangers have to move on from that. We need reliable players that are going to be able to play 30, 40 games without, I know injuries happen, I do get that, but not in the he's fallen into Kamar Roof's bracket here of just constantly being injured.
I think we had very, very wary conversations the last time it happened, and then the time before that, and there was potentially a time before that. I think we need to identify the trend now, but it's all well good saying that. I looked up there. He's contracted till May 2028. Who's going to buy him? Genuinely, who's going to buy him? I don't see who it is. And it's frustrating because if he did have a better track record with his injuries, I reckon it'd be quite a decent asset for Rangers. Obviously, he came from He came from Chelsea, English international, can play anywhere really along the back line, or up front in the boardroom. He just seems to do a bit of a shift anywhere. So I genuinely think he could have been a decent asset for us. And who's to say, a club won't come in from Monday if a club's looking for Tav. Say he's doing John Sterling, that he's got a name change and maybe get him out the door, but I don't see many folk coming in for him, unfortunately. So it might just be one more need to play out. I don't see him wanting to go anywhere anytime soon. I imagine he'd be on a pretty healthy wage at Rangers. I don't know what sort of guy he is, if that's, if he does want to go on and kick on and play football. But it is gutting for him. The human aspect of it, he must genuinely be gutted. Because he did come on to a right game. I think the game at Parkhead especially, I was very, very happy with him. And yeah, it is very frustrating. But that role needs to be filled, especially with the uncertainty about Tav. We need a right back in that's not alone, just somebody there permanently. So yes, it's another one for the summer shopping list. But it's fine because Mr. Kavanagh seems to be quite eager in his spending, so hopefully a right back is one that he's keen to indulge in.
I think by move on, Sterling, I don't mean move him on, because I agree who's going to buy the guy, to be completely honest, but it's more the chatter around Rangers fans about when Sterling's coming back to fitness, or Sterling can come back and he goes straight back into right back, and you're like, I don't think that's the road that we should be going down. Rangers should be planning for a future without Dujon Sterling. Yes, if he's fit, yes, we can use him 100%. Like you said, Ross, he's a utility player. He generally is. He can play anywhere, really. He's played all over the park for Rangers, so he can play anywhere and he can be used as a utility player. But you can't rely on someone that breaks down 3, 4, 5 times a season. You just can't. It's just not possible to do so. It doesn't make any sense to do so either. To kind of put your eggs in that basket. So it's no disrespect to Dujon Sterling. As I say, as a player, I like him, but unfortunately, we need players that are fit and able to play more often than not. And unfortunately for Dujon Sterling, he doesn't fall into that bracket. So again, it's not his fault. It's his body's just not been able to put up with the physicalities of football. And it's been a hell of a recovery for him since he had the really bad injury that he did have. His Achilles, I think it was, but he's struggled to come back from that. So it's unfortunate for him, but we'll see. I say we could be saying all this and we just give him a slate, and then Sterling might start on Sunday, because we don't know, because Danny Rule didn't tell us. Danny Rule played these whole cards close to his chest again thing in terms of the team, which I actually don't mind. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that particularly bothers me. It's like a void that needs filled, I suppose, and maybe that's the case. That's what's happened here. But yeah, it doesn't really bother me if Daniel chooses not to tell us. It's really up to him whether he does or he doesn't. There's a press conference every 4.5 minutes in Scotland, so you're going to hear from him again very soon. Moving on from that, before we get to Livingston, Ali, again rumoured, not fully confirmed yet, but it has been reported by pretty much everybody about the Old Firm ticket allocation for the quarter-final of the Cup at Ibrox. It looks like they are set to receive the full Broomloan stand, which is about 7,000 tickets that they will be receiving. So again, we're going to go into this conversation, and again, I'll probably need to say my bit. I've got two sides of this. Does it create a better atmosphere when they're there? Probably, yes, without just being stuck in that corner. Would I bend over and give them anything that they wanted or do anything to please Celtic? Absolutely not. I would not. It's also a wee bit of me looking at that going, if this was the other way around, I think we would be demanding more. And should this ever happen again, I know it's very rare that it does happen. These games tend to happen at Hampden where there's no conversation to be had. But would they be as accommodating to us? I don't know if they would be. I generally don't. I honestly don't. So I'm like, there's a wee bit of me wrangling. There'll be some old schoolish mates, some traditionalists that will be absolutely delighted the fact that they've got the full Broom loan back. And hopefully we've just scudded them the weekend before, mate, so they might be coming feeling pretty sorry for themselves. But yeah, what's your thoughts on them getting the full Broom loan reportedly again, yet to be fully confirmed by the club?
I knew they'd get the full Broom loan. I see Rangers on tour are saying the cup game will be £60 a ticket. I can't see that. Is it not? Are they not capped in the Scottish Cup in terms of what you can charge?
I think it's the SFA that decide it. Is it not?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think it'll be anything near that.
I don't think it's Rangers.
But in terms of them getting the Broom, I thought they would get the Broom loan because they've had the Broom loan previously. The police know how to police it, etc. They put the barriers up. They weren't going to get 10,000 because that would creep in at the corner and then into the Govan as well. So there was no chance of that. The most they were getting was the full Broom loan. They've got the full Broom loan. And if it's one of these ones that they're entitled to up to 20%, they're entitled to, if we were going to Parkhead, we'd be entitled to up to 20% of their 60,000 capacity as well. So it is what it is, to be honest. And a lot of folk, Mr. Haymarch, that's not on the podcast tonight, preferred when it was how it was years ago when they got the Broom loan, etc. So I'm not shocked about it. I know there'll be a lot of guys in the Broom loan maybe upset because they've got season tickets in there in terms of what happens to them, will they be moved, etc. But we've not heard from Rangers yet. They've not come out at all and said anything. This has all came through paper talk, but that'll be correct. Folk aren't going to report on that. So they will get the Broom loan. I would assume, Carney, that guys, they'll get the Broom loan, and then the way they'll do it, Rangers, is guys that are on the CCs will all get their tickets, I would imagine. So if you're on the Broom loan but you're on the CCs, you'll be moved somewhere, and then whatever's left will go amongst season ticket holders. I would assume that's how they'll do it.
There won't. If that is the case, there'll be no general sale for this. There'll be no chance.
No chance. But that guys in
terms of like my Jez members and all that, it's not. It won't even get to them.
There won't be that. But the guys that take the CCs, I'm a mug and take the CCs. So guys like myself will get the ticket for it because we've taken the CCs. You go to the games, etc. So those guys will get the tickets first, and then it'll filter down to as your season. I don't know how they'll do it, but CCs will get it first. But if that's what it is, they're entitled to it. They are entitled to it. So I'll be honest, I've got no grumbles about it, Carney. And as you said, if we could beat them the week before in the league and go 4 points clear, I know they play Aberdeen during the week in between those games, but if they could bring it back to 1 point and they come back to Ibrox and we can put them at the cup, and there's 7,500 of them watching us put them at the cup, I'll be delighted to see them go out the Broom loan, because during the banter years, Carney, you want to say how many times did they come in that full Broom loan? We sat there, they scalped us by 4 or 5 goals. You had that loose stick and a policeman's hat. You had what do you call them? Griffiths tying scarves to the goal posts, everything. And they were goading us. And to be fair, if I was in their position as well back then, I'd be doing the same as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I'm not having a go at them for doing that. I'd do the exact same thing as well if we were doing that at Parkhead. So it's I think it's a kind of a bit of revenge. All them in Ibrox, we could put a show and put them out and get them out of the stadium. That would be a good one for me. So I've got no grumbles that they're getting the full Broom loan at all, because as you say, if it was the other way around, I'd be wanting a very similar percentage of tickets going to Parkhead.
This won't change anything, but in terms of the league. So I've already seen comments saying that this
can't, because the season tickets sold.
Yeah, it won't change. It's not going to change anything. This is a one-off game that doesn't happen very often, so there's going to be no absolute movement on that at all. Whether you like that or you don't, it's what the club decided to do, and there's nothing we can do about it. Generally, nothing that we can do about that. unless they go back to. I remember you could buy tickets in the Broomloan that excluded Old Firm games. I remember that. That was a while ago, but I remember that was a thing. But obviously now they've been sold with Old Firm games. So again, there's not much you can do about it. I do feel sorry for the ones that need to move, but again, this is just the rules that there has to be. Ross, your thoughts on all of that, mate?
Yeah, I think you guys have covered it pretty comprehensively. It's what they were due. I think with the away fans getting that, was it minimum 20%, whatever. So 7,500, as you said, we're not letting them into any other stands. Let's be fair. So we'll give them the Broomloan and kind of leave it at that. I'm in the camp as well. Bring it on. See if we can. Imagine you're a couple goals up, and you've got 7,500 in there. That is glorious. Obviously, you have to be aware of the other end of it as well. If it doesn't go our way, but genuinely, mate, bring it on for me. Again, looking forward to making my appearance on Celtic Twitter when it doesn't go our way. But genuinely, I am more than up for it. So it shall be very, very good. I noticed that it's potentially a very bumper sticker thing to say, but it's a good advert. It's a very good advert. How many times have not only has an Old Firm been made because of the atmosphere, but maybe because of the quality? Like the Old Firms, especially recently, have been dire. So folk looking up maybe from down south or in the world maybe tune into the Old Firm and go, "This is not anything like we expect it to be." So that atmosphere at the start of the game, hopefully, will just drive it on a wee bit. And we know how much Mr. Haymarch loves. He's right at the front, loves it. So I do hope that he's one of them who gets to enjoy that 7,500 mocking. I do hope so. Genuinely, I do hope so. I'm saying a lot of words that could come back to bite me, so I'm gonna put myself back on mute and I shall let you guys take over. But I'm very excited, mate. Very excited.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. The atmosphere is better. There's more of a raucous atmosphere. It's more of a hostile environment, if you like, when there is that full Broomloan there. There is. But again, I do have scar tissue of sitting there watching them. I don't know how many buys, and I'm sitting just constantly shaking my head. Pedro Caixinha years come flooding back to me all too often when I think about that. And yeah, so look, I get it. It's not going to change anything. It's probably what we all thought they would get. I thought at the very least they would get the European allocation in terms of the corner and then up, but this probably makes more sense for policing matters as well. Because as what the comment said there, they're awfully concerned about security measures, Celtic, so they're and fan safety and all that. Yes, believe that if you are indeed an idiot. And yeah, so I think it was probably what it was always going to be. So we'll wait and see when it's confirmed, but it is going to be that. It is going to be that. Famous last words it would be, but yes. We'll move on to Livingston now. We travel to the, I don't know, spaghetti ad, Tony Macaroni. I don't know what is it called? I don't even care what it's called now, but we travel to Livingston, West Lothian to take on Livingston. Ali, a game against Livi away never really seems to be straightforward. There always seems to be something with it. Obviously, Livingston are in a pretty bad state right now. They are bottom of the league, but as you don't need to look too many days back to see the top of the league, the bottom of the league, and the Premier League, where Arsenal let a 2-goal lead slip to draw with Wolves. So Rangers have to, the title of this pod is, mate, get in, get out, 3 points. It really is as simple as that.
Yeah, no, this game, I know it's Livingston. I know a lot of folks say they're bottom of the league, etc. It should be extremely routine, easy for Rangers to go down there. Livingston are fighting for their lives down there. They're way off the second bottom team in the league at the moment. I think they're quite a bit of distance from them. Very unlucky not to get a point at Celtic Park against Celtic, which nobody really seen coming. Most folk would have thought Celtic would have convincingly took care of Livingston. Marvin Bartley's gone in there as manager. Probably something to prove. Davy Martindale's not up the stairs in terms of Livingston now. So, yeah, they've always been a sticky team for us, Carney. And you look back to the last time we played Livingston with Russell Martin. And that was that Russell Martin's last game as Rangers manager, that Livingston game? We won 2-1. Aaron's
scored last minute
after that. I think
was that his last game, was it?
Aaron's scored in the 93rd minute, whatever it was. Rangers fans were singing Martin, Martin, get to France, and he was escorted to a car off the park. I think he was sacked after that game. Somebody in the comments will tell us, but I'm pretty sure he was sacked after that game.
5th of October he was sacked.
Was it the Falkirk game that he got sacked?
It was a Falkirk game. It was. It was. It was the Falkirk game. The one each draw with Falkirk the following week is when he was sacked.
Right. So we're very close. but
mate. That's pretty accurate for you, to be fair, mate. Yeah, a week out's not bad for you, to be honest.
So the last time we played Livingston, Aaron's pulled us out a hole in the last minute.
I was about to say, did he sack him after? I was like, did he sack him after winning? Surely, did we? I was like, no way. No.
If you could have heard the fans that day, even winning the game, Christ, it's unbelievable. And if you look from there to now, from where we're playing Livingston now, it's miles apart. You wouldn't have believed back then if somebody said the next time you play Livingston away, you'd be where you are. So Rangers just need to go there, Carney, and they need to be professional. They can't take their eye off the ball like I think they did against Motherwell, and I think Danny Rule did too. I think they go down there, win that game. And the majority of the fans will be Rangers fans there. I mean, fair play to Livingston. They sell the whole ground to Rangers fans and Celtic fans when they come. So the major majority of fans there, it'll be like a kind of home game on the plastic park for Rangers there. So Rangers should be going there and should be beating Livingston. If Rangers don't beat Livingston on Sunday, we don't deserve to win the title. And again, it would be another away game where they drop points and folk would say they don't have it, including myself. But to set it up for a week on Sunday, and I don't want to look too far ahead, but they've got to beat Livingston. I don't care how they do it on Sunday, Carney. If they win 1-0, 2-1, whatever it is, I don't care. I know from my heart it won't be great watching it, but just get 3 points. That is all they need to do, and set it up for the following Sunday against Celtic at Ibrox for a blockbuster, if you want to say. But yeah, as I say, I don't think it'll be an easy game, but we should have more than enough to go there and beat Livingston on their patch. So very interesting, but yes, I expect Rangers to beat Livingston on Sunday.
Ross, it's I know we've said it, and I've not fully got behind the performance doesn't matter thing when I've been saying it about certain games, because I have expected Rangers to play a lot better than they have at times. I don't care how Rangers play on Sunday, or I honestly don't. See, as long as we win that game, I could not care less. It doesn't mean anything to me on Sunday apart from winning that game of football. Rangers just have to not overthink this. Rangers just have to play their football. Rangers just have to get the business done by hook or by crook. Get in, get out, 3 points.
Has to be. If you want any ambitions to win the league title, I think I'll be honest with you, I think you need a comfortable one. I do, Jay. I think for the current state that Livingston are in, I think it needs to be at least a 2-goal cushion for me. That's what I'm going for. I think you're right. Livingston's always been it has been a tricky year. I wouldn't say we've had almost shocking results there, but it's definitely one we've struggled with. I always remember it was back in the 55 season, we had that late goal from Morelos that kind of set the title on its way, had the fireworks, etc. And it's just there has always been that kind of strange, almost, I don't know, that difficulty about it. But it's 3 points. As Marvin Bartley there, obviously, as the gaffer, Martindale has, I don't know if he's moved up or if he's moved down. He's appointed himself as director or whatever. So I've kind of...
I think with Martindale, he actually has done quite a lot of good for Livi, but his managerial run was pretty much coming to the end, and I think they've thought collectively, let's just give you another position and get you out of Dodge because we don't want to sack you. That's what I took from it anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I completely agree. It was a very strange one, but Marvin Bartley came in. And he was very close for a result away at Parkhead. So you have to take a wee bit of an upturn in form, but I still think we're Rangers, we're looking to win the title. It needs to be a good 3 points for me. So looking forward to it, but it's one of these games. Be wary of the surface. We've been there before. It's, thankfully, if it does look like the way things are going, you'll potentially only have the one pitch. If Livingston go down, Oh no, because Falkirk have a plastic pitch. For goodness sake, man. Honestly, you think you'll get away with it, and then Falkirk come in and play some decent football. You think you'll get away with that. So it could be one less plastic pitch next season should Livingston get relegated. But as Daniel said, we both need to play on that park. So, but getting in, as you say, mate, and getting the 3 points and swiftly moving on.
The plastic parks are gone soon, are they not? Is that the end of this season, end of this season?
They're going. If it's not next season, it's season after.
Is it? Somebody in the comments will tell me that in a minute. But I thought that was getting quite close when the plastic
they've got to rip them
be
up.
gone for good. As they bloody well should be. Honestly, it's embarrassing to have us playing on plastic pitches. It really is. Just football's meant to be played on grass. I get it for like 5-a-side games and 7-a-side pitches and even 11-a-side pitches that aren't used on a professional level, fine, but not on the telly. I just, because it looks terrible. It doesn't reflect true bounces. It's not good. We need to get plastic pitches out of the game, and it's not too long to wait before they are gone. Ali, we'll move on to what we expect the teams to be and what we expect the tactics to be. Now, look, Danny Rule, I think he went with a model on Sunday that I think will be utilised a lot more. I think that's more what he's after. I think more that's more the formation that he's looking for in terms of the kind of 2 up top, with a variation of how the midfield is going to look behind that, even the defence, I suppose, because you might look to go kind of 3 at the back or stick with the 4 with 3 in the midfield and a player off the 2 strikers or whatever it may be. But I think the 2 up top is something that we're going to see quite a lot, and I think the Dairy is probably the one guy that's probably pretty crucial for that. The guy's clearly got legs, the guy's clearly got physicality about him, and he doesn't look scared to be able to do the, I don't want to say donkey work, I want to say the leg work. I want to say the leg work in terms of the whole system being able to work, occupying defenders to free up space, etc., for maybe more creative players. Now, obviously, with the rumour that it looks like he might miss Sunday, do you think he sticks with that? Do you think he sticks with the 2 up top and plays Miovski and Sharmiti, or does that leave us short on the bench for a striker? So your thoughts on that, mate, and then your starting 11, please.
I thought Nadiri and Sharmiti complemented each other quite well. I've got the fear for Nadiri because he's getting compared to every great German striker or midfielder that ever existed, because he was compared to Thomas Müller today after getting compared to a couple of other guys previously before he came in. So,
two guys previously I'd never heard of. I'd never heard of it. I was like, who are they?
who was one? Was it Bobic? Was it Freddie Bobic? Was he one of them?
Bobic was one of them, yeah, and there was another guy that I'd never heard of.
Nick Voltemada.
Yeah, and now we all know who Thomas Müller is. So Danny Rule's putting.
I do know who he is.
But Danny Rule's putting a lot of pressure on the boy in terms of players who he reminds him of. But I like
some
the
praise as well for Rangers on tour.
Yeah, he's similar. I can see that. Similar to Jelavic. I think he covers the ground well. Good touch. He's a natural striker for me. I think he complements Big Sharmiti quite well. Sharmiti was dropping deep at times in that game and scored a hat-trick as well. So I thought it worked. I think we'll obviously talk about Celtic next week, but yeah, Nadiri's fit. I think we'll probably see a very similar team that play against Hearts, that'll play against Celtic, because it worked. They occupy, both centre-halves have 2 strikers to think about rather than just the one guy as well. So yeah, I think it's something we'll see, but I don't think it's something we'll see on Sunday against Livingston. Miovski, so poor Miovski this season. I mean, so disappointed in Miovski. He's kind of went under the radar because Big Sharmiti's been getting bashed most of the season until he's hit a wee purple patch there. But I don't think he'll play Miovski and Sharmiti. I don't think they complement each other that well. Livingston, I think, will sit in, try and frustrate us. I think we need guys that are clever on the ball, guys that can break it down. So I wouldn't be going with the 2 of them. My team for Sunday, I think it'll be Jack Bolton in goal. Tav will play right back. Aaron, for me, should be nowhere near it. John Suter will play. Fernandez will play. But I will say I wouldn't be shocked if he put Giga in over Fernandez, but I think Fernandez will play. Romans, it's a stick on at left back. The midfield, Raskin seems to get the nod all the time. And I think Diamandi's been hard done by recently, but I think it'll be Raskin, Chukwani, who's been very good. Just in front of them, Mikey Moore. And I think he'll be a front three. I think Gassama will come back in on the left. Chermeti through the middle. And Olsen on the right. I'll be honest, I've been disappointed with so far this season. But I'm not writing him off yet, but I've been disappointed with him. That's my team. And I'm going to go positive on Sunday. I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers. Olsen, first goal scorer.
If he doesn't play 2 up top, that would be the team I would pick. The one that you just picked. If I still get a sneaky suspicion he'll still do 2 up top, and I would drop Gassama out of that team and put Miovski in that position. That would be the two. That's the 2 variations of the team that I see. I'll be completely wrong, and he'll play Asgard, of course. But
I wouldn't be shocked if he played Asgard, can he?
Man, come on, we can't. Look, there's a week between games, and no disrespect to Asgard, no, you might. It's just a man down as soon as you play the guy. I think that ship is sailing further and further away for Asgard. I do, but that's the 2 variations of the team that I see. I'll go for 2-0 Rangers, and I'll go for Chermeti to continue his running form and to score against somebody else other than one of the top 3 positions of the league right now. Ross, your team any different than that, and then your score, mate? And do you see him sticking with 2 up top? Or?
I think if the option was there with Nadiri, I think 2 up top, you need to keep it going, as you say, but not in midweek, so you might as well just keep it rolling on. I went for the exact same team as Ali, although I love Gassama. You lads know I love Gassama. I'd potentially be starting Ant-Man. Genuinely, I think Ant-Man's not been bad at all. I think with Livingston, obviously, you've got to treat every game as it comes. Give every team respect. But Ant-Man can do a job against Livingston, surely. He needs. I can imagine him being of a good enough quality to have a good game there. I think he's deserved a start as well. Ant-Man has been very, very solid. But honestly, when I tell you the absolute delight on Sunday when Gassama got this. I celebrated the assist more than the goal. Genuinely, I did. I turned to my mum and she was like, "What? But I was like, Gassama, he's not scored. But he got assist." I was ecstatic for the lad. But I would potentially be starting Ant-Man there. But yeah, I think that's probably the team for me as well, gents. I'm gonna go. You know what? 3-0 Rangers it is. 3-0 Rangers. And a Tavernier penalty. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah, just win the bloody game. Rangers, just win the game. Literally win the game, and then we'll see where the cookie crumbles the following weekend. So, yeah, just go and get the business done by hook or by crook. Get out of there with 3 points. That is all that we want to see, and it's all that will really be. That's not the time for us to have a trip up. Let's build a couple of wins here. That's what we need to go on and do. But I just win the game. Win the game. Please win the game. That will do us for this evening. Thank you to everybody in the chat for getting involved. And the people that I've seen my phone's been going, there's people already ordering the t-shirts, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I meant to say, Justin, get in contact with me because the overseas pricing is different for terms of shipping. I have to literally just go and find out how much it's going to be to post it to you. So make sure that you email me or get in contact with me somehow, and I'll get a quote to you depending on where you live. So yes, for tonight, Ali, thank you very much.
Scotia's wanting to go to America in the summer, can't he? So you could pay for Scotia to go to America and he'll deliver the t-shirt to...
I think it's probably cheaper than me just to post it, to be honest. Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate, I'll send Scotia to America, right, and I'll pay for it if you pay for my wedding. Is that a deal?
Oh God, I've got my own wedding to pay for.
Exactly, mate.
No, I know. It's actually this weekend. Actually, when obviously, I proposed in a place down in the Lake District in September, and Rangers played Livingston that very day away at the Tony Mac or whatever it's called, and they won 2-1. And we're actually going back to the same place this weekend, and Rangers are playing Livingston again. So I'm hoping it's not as... I hope Rangers win, but obviously not like the previous game. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, they just need to win, Rangers, on Sunday, can't they? I mean, I look at the other 2 games, Hearts against Falkirk at home. I expect Hearts to win. Celtic are playing Hibs. I know as poor as Celtic are, but they still win games. I expect them to win as well, and I expect us to win on Sunday. I expect the 3 teams to win over the weekend, and it'll set up the following week as an absolute cracker. Thanks very much, Janice, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. But yeah, as you said,
I think there might be some sound advice here for Big Shug as well. I'm not going to say it because she's probably sitting on the other side of that door, so I'm not going to say it.
Nah, I've been told that quite a lot, Shug, but too late now. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Just do the business on Sunday, Rangers. It doesn't matter what happens with our games. Do the business and set it up for next Sunday for an absolute classic. So 3 points for me. And as always, it's over to you, Rangers.
Yes, good to have you back, Ross. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you, mate. I shall try and bring myself out the bad cave more than once a week. This is my hour off this week. But no, it is absolute class as always. I will be going on and looking at t-shirts. You should all be doing the same, folks, because genuinely it's such exciting stuff. And as Carly says, thank you to everyone who's already getting involved. I mean, look at that. Honestly, I can see myself cutting a bit, going to the airport, going to Ibrox. That's exactly what we're after. So 100%.
I don't even pay Ross to say this stuff. Honestly, I don't even pay him to say this.
Well, I cannot wait to get my hands on one, mate. It'll be absolutely class. But yes, pleasure as always, gents. 3 points for Rangers is all we want, and we shall hopefully see you with a happy reaction.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be back on Sunday with, I say, hopefully a reaction to a 3 points for Rangers and Livingston. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Thank you for everybody for tuning in tonight. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak to you all on Sunday. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.